Have you ever wondered where do perfect dogs come from? How are they made? Where do those dogs that are perfect at home and on a lead and good with dogs and cats and children come from? Well, you know what? Perfect dogs come straight from the streets. We find them there, abandoned, forgotten, and alone. People often say, oh, he's so well behaved for a stray, but it's quite the opposite. Those dogs are well behaved because they are strays, because we people haven't spoiled them yet, because we haven't made choices for them. They make their own choices and they know better than we do. And he was one of those perfect dogs that in an ideal world people would line up to get him. But it's not an ideal world, and he was black, and he was sick, and he was on the streets, not in a fancy breeder's brochure posing proudly on green grass among colorful cushions. We named him Nikitas, that means victorious in Greek, because he managed to beat mange and everything else that was wrong with him, and come out a winner. He would eventually beat prejudice too, and despite his average looks and his black collar, he would shine, because black dogs do shine, and when they do, they shine brighter than anyone. Nikita spent nearly 10 months among the pack of our rescue dogs. If you just visited, you wouldn't really notice him. He didn't stand out. But if you looked carefully, you would see that gentleman of a dog always there, present, but never all over you. Tender, but never demanding. As long as you had your arms open for him, he would stay there in your hug, no matter what was going on around. He'd make you feel that him and you were the only two beings that mattered in the world. Nikitas was made to be around humans. Well, all dogs are made like that, but he seemed like he had a knowledge inside him. A knowledge from past lives that made him adjust so perfectly, as if he was more of a human and less of a dog. As if he knew how to behave and what to do and what not to do in every situation he was in. And when he came home with me after having spent years on the streets and months in a pack of dogs in a garden, it was as if we welcomed our fourth dog, who already knew how this house worked and what the rules were, and where we sleep and where we sunbathe and where we sit quietly and watch the sunset. It was as if he knew my 3 dogs that he had never met before, and my cats, as if he knew the neighborhood we'd walk in, and our friends at the coffee shop, and the car, and the beach. I've never had a foster dog that adjusted so perfectly since the moment he stepped foot in the house. Everything we did together was as if we had done it 1,000 times before. Everything. He even made our last hours together at the airport feel like part of a routine we've always had. Walking down the parking lot and among the people and the cars and the noises and the smells. Had he been there before? How many lives had this dog lived already? How did he know everything? How did he know everyone? How did he know how to wake up the next day, thousands of miles away from home in Holland, and be the 3rd dog of 2 people he had never met before, as if he was always their 3rd dog, and as if nothing much had changed in his life those past few days? Nikitas is the type of dog that crosses your path, even just for a few days, and leaves a terrible feeling of nostalgia as he leaves you behind and moves on to something better, something new. I feel like I've waved goodbye to a dear friend, a friend that I've known for years, because this is the kind of dog that makes you feel at home when you're with him. He's shining now since he left Greece. He's shining like he never shined before while he was here. He shines when he runs free, when he plays in the sand, when he sits proudly posing for a photo, and when he spends his lazy afternoons on the couch. He is like a symbol of dogs, like an ambassador for all dogs like him, dogs that we keep ignoring on the streets, and dogs that thrive and keep thriving if they are given a chance to be who they are. Dogs that are not here to learn from us, but to teach us. To teach us that some gentlemen wear furry tuxedos and have wagging tails, and no matter how many hardships they have been through, they come out shining and proud, sometimes with a scar on their beautiful, elegant face, but always with the spirit of a winner.